Welcome to the SMS Technology Middle School YouTube channel. Today we're going to be learning about the TSA and dragsters. So I hope you all enjoy this video.
Turn me up and turn her off. Nice intro, Brooklyn. Very well done. Like Brooklyn said, we're going to talk about TSA and dragsters. Let me get started with TSA since it's on the front of my mind right now. You may want to join this club next year. You can do it as a 6th grader, 7th grader, 8th grader. This is an after-school club, and we go to competitions, and we compete in dragster, we compete in flight, we compete in computer-aided design, we compete in different areas. And if you are someone who likes Lego robots, if you like drones, if you like any kind of technology like 3D printing, then TSA is the club for you. It's kind of like FFA, except for people who like technology. So check that out next year. We'll have an announcement for it next year. Wow, we're having fun today with my first period 6th graders. Hey, what should we talk about next? Maybe let's do the 3D printer. What? 3D printer, let's do it. Check out our 3D printer. If you tuned into one of our previous live streams, you saw this working on maybe the D8 die or the D10 die. Well, we're moving up to the D12 die right now. And we've got about 21 minutes to go until this gets finished. Let's see what those dice, because the plural of die is dice. Let's see what those dice look like. Oh, this is cool. So this one is the D8 die, and this one is the D10 die. And if you tune in a future live stream, we should have the D12 to show off to you. Why am I so obsessed with these multi-sided dice? Well, first of all, they're just cool geometric shapes. But second of all, because it's how I make random decisions in class, like who gets to go first or anything like that. So I just roll, and each student has a number, and then we can figure out who's going to do what. So you can see the 3D printer doing its thing. Somebody said earlier today, it's really fast, but it's really slow. So the extruder moves back and forth really fast, but it takes a long time to make things. Like each one of these dies took about 30 minutes to print. And some of these other 3D printed things over here took even longer. Like I think the lightsaber might have been like 12 hours or something like that. Yeah. Is the audio good? I'm asking the director here if the audio is good. Okay, audio is good. Hey, that's always a good thing. We can turn this one down. If nobody's using this mic, we can turn that one all the way down to 0. Because you can sometimes get weird echoes if you have 2 mics picking up the same person. Cool. Well, 3D printing, I should explain a little bit more about it. I've got a roll of filament here. This is the plastic that makes our objects. And the 3D printer heats it up, gets really hot, like about 200 degrees hot. And it extrudes, it melts the plastic and stretches it into different shapes and turns it into a really thin strand of plastic, and it works layer by layer, and that's how 3D printing works. And you can use, so for example, with this black filament, we could make something like this. Yes, these go together, really. Like the television is old school and the Oreo is pretty classic and timeless. So you could be eating Oreo cookies while you're watching your old school TV, but we use some silver Sharpie to make the screen look silvery, and then we use some white paint to make it look like triple stuffed or something. Yes, I've heard of Hydrox cookies. I've probably eaten them when I was a kid, a long time ago. So 3D printing, why am I talking about 3D printing? It's a cool technology you need to know about. Oh, yeah, Brooklyn knows, but you got to wear your mask. You got to wear your mask. Brooklyn's going to come up and explain something. You want to turn her up?
You're going to be using it wherever school you go to or not. You're going to be using a 3D printer throughout your whole life. So I mean, you might as well just watch this and learn about it.
Yeah, correct. And also I would add that if you take my class in 7th grade or 8th grade, we do 3D printing. You will 3D print a house. and then you might 3D print a car or a lightsaber or the Death Star or anything like that. And so this is a little bit of a sales pitch for why you might want to take my class next year. Other things that we do in 7th grade and 8th grade are we make CO2 powered dragsters. So the CO2 cartridge goes in the back, it's compressed air, and it shoots really fast, and we race these cars to see who is the fastest. And we design these cars. I'll show you a video that shows you how we make these cars, but I've got a few cars that are under construction right now that my 8th graders are working on that I've got to show you because they're so beautiful. Look at this one. Got to give a special shout out to Caleb because he's working on painting this car right now. This is just the body of the car, and we've got it on this holder so that when we spray paint it, we can get every side of the car. And he's doing such a good job. I think he's got a couple coats of clear coat on there to make it look so nice and shiny. Can we zoom in and get a really nice close-up of that one? Yeah, look at that. I can't wait to see this car with wheels on it once we get the axles done and get the wheels put on there. And then I can't wait to see it shooting across the cafeteria when we race it. I'll show you one other car we've got under construction right now that my older students are working on. This one is Kaylee's car. Wow, look at that.
It's a Halo car.
Yeah, it's like a Halo ship car. Wow. Yeah, so she's doing a great job. And some of the other students, they're still in the sanding phase. But I tell them, take your time with the sanding. Do a good job with it because it'll make the paint job look better.
I have a question about freezing. How does your little dice make the number? Should we put on that one?
Oh, okay. So I got a question from the audience here. How did they print the numbers in the dice? And the answer is they took that shape and they just cut that shape out of the dice. I think it was like a subtraction operation where you subtract that shape out of the existing shape to get the number. And the printer, how does the printer print that shape that's designed on the computer? So the numbers are in there on the computer in the design. But how does the printer carry that through and make it happen? It just goes layer by layer. And wherever it's hollow in here, in some of the hollow spaces in the numbers, it has a support, a thin plastic temporary structure to hold it up so that the ceiling doesn't cave in, basically. And we could talk more about supports, but I think what we're going to do is we want to switch the director and the camera operator now because we want everybody to get a chance to do this stuff. So why don't you guys go ahead and switch? And you don't need to wear the headphones because we know we're good with the audio. But we are going to shut down this microphone because it's best to only have one microphone working at a time. Now, maybe William, do you want to do an interpretive dance while we get set up to show the dragster video? If he says anything, we'll need to turn his mic up. Down, and we'll turn me up. Okay, cool. We want to show you this video that's under construction. Go ahead and hit play. So the director is going to hit play, and people will be able to watch this. Here's some dragsters from earlier this year from my 7th and 8th graders. In this video, you can see we're using Adobe Premiere. You can see all these blue clips on the timeline. This is how you edit video. And these are 4K video clips, so they're very high in resolution. And you can see how beautiful these cars are. How did we make these cars? These are custom made. Well, the answer is it begins on the computer. We use AutoCAD to design these cars, and we measure everything out perfectly so that everything fits when we build it. Then we put the pattern onto a block of wood, and then we drill the axles. So we're using our woodshop tools to make these cars into reality. So now we're cutting it out on the scroll saw, And then you can see the two pieces of the car right there. Now we're sanding it with the disc sander, but most of the sanding is we do it by hand. And it makes the car look really beautiful if you sand it well. And of course, then we spray paint it, make it whatever color you want. But the important thing is racing, and here we go. Look how fast these cars are. That's our cafeteria, that's our racetrack, and that's how fast the cars are. And then I do have a shot here with slow motion, because sometimes we need the slow motion camera just to see who won the race, because they'll both come in so fast. Cool. Well, while we're here, let's also show them the Lego robots and stuff like that. Let's go into Chrome, and we're going to open up, let's just open up a new tab, and we'll go into YouTube, because I think with this live stream for your all's class, I didn't get to show you off the Lego robots and stuff like that. So let's go into my channel, or your channel. Right, well, it's either one. And we can pause that guy. But I do kind of want to watch that video. I want you all to be able to see that so you can see what I mean by the Lego robots. So let's actually full screen it, and we'll jump it ahead a little bit. And then you guys can see how cool the Lego robots are, because if you take this class in 7th grade or 8th grade, we're going to build these things. Go ahead and play that. Yeah, so this was last year when we didn't have to wear masks. This was before coronavirus. But you can see we use iPads, and the iPads work with Bluetooth to control the robots. We build these robots, custom make them, or you can just follow the instructions and build a typical robot, but it's probably more fun if you get creative and build your own robot. But these are really cool machines that you can do battle with them, or you can do other kinds of functions with your robot. We take them outside to see if they can survive on the surface of Mars. I mean, our soccer field. Or they tend to drive a little bit better on the road. We discovered that. But they're very good at fighting each other. We enjoy that, because you basically see if you can... Battle bots, they're battle bots. We like to see if we can knock over, the other robot. Cool, so let's escape out of this one, and I want to show you the quick drone video. Let's scroll down on here, and I'll show you the drone video. There it is, drone piloting. Let's click on that one, because that's another thing we do in technology class, is you learn how to fly a drone. And I bring in my personal one from home, and then we got a brand new drone from a grant from Blue Ridge Community College. So this next year we'll be able to put 2 drones up in the air and fly them around. And I'm working on getting us a 3rd drone, because that way we can get more students flying at a time. But you learn how to fly a high quality drone, which I think is going to be one of those skills that people are going to need for future careers. If you know how to fly a drone, that's going to give you more job options when you grow up. And the important thing, of course, is landing it. You always want to be able to land it. And it's actually not too hard. And it's really fun. And they even have an active track mode where it follows you around, unless you run and hide in a dugout and then it loses track of you. But that's some cool stuff. So cool, we can escape out of that. And I want to see if there's anything I've forgotten to tell you all. Let's do the fade 300 milliseconds button, and we can bring it back to the face cam. And I'm going to look on my notes and see if there's anything that I forgot to mention in this video, and my awesome students are going to entertain you. Yeah, there's the director. Yeah. Yeah, good job, you guys. You have to turn up his mic, Hunter. You have to turn up his mic.
When the imposter is solved.
I'm going to do a TikTok.
You guys need to be 6 feet apart, or at least 3 feet apart now.
3 feet?
Yeah. We can measure. Do you want to? Okay. There's 2 feet. And there's 3 feet right there.
So are we good?
Take that. Let's see. We'll see if that's 3 feet. There we go. That's about, I would call that 3 feet. Yeah. That looks like 3 feet. All right, you guys, let's see how the 3D printer is doing. How's the 3D printer doing?
It looks good. It's starting to get up a little higher.
Oh, it's definitely higher. Brooklyn, you were asking about the numbers. How does it print the numbers? Brooklyn, can you see the supports that are in there, those thin vertical lines? Those are the supports, and they help hold it up so that the ceiling doesn't cave in. Our die is almost done, but we got 12 minutes to go. I think we'll have to check in on it in a future live stream. We are going to need somebody to do the outro. Does anybody want to do the outro? Well, we can have 2 outros if you want. Do you want to do 2 outros? Oh, the flashbang. Is that for the outro? Okay, Hunter, make sure you turn on that shotgun mic.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I don't think it's on full power. I think it's only on 1/16 power.
What are you doing?
Do you want it on full power? That might be kind of bright.
No, Hunter, this way. I meant Carter.
We'll just pop it at 1/16 power. Let's see how that looks. Woo! Woo!
Alrighty.
Well, no, I think he's doing it right, but it's hard for it to focus when you have an all-white surface because the autofocus doesn't know how to do it. All right, let's get into the outro.
William.
Well, you guys do it separately because you got to be 3 feet apart.
Alright, well, I'm going to pass it to William to finish up the video.